Hi, I'm Amit. Today we're going to talk about three things that we goofed up on when it comes to the second wave of the pandemic and three things that we can still do right. First things first, every country in the world had gone through a second wave of the pandemic and everyone knew that is extremely dangerous. Our government, our people didn't learn their lesson from somebody else's experience. Now we are learning it the hard way. What are the three things that we could have done but we didn't do? First things first, we didn't put enough money in the pharma sector for development of a vaccine. No, not much R&D done in India. Very few homegrown vaccines. Forget that, we didn't invest enough money in Serum Institute of India to boost their production capacity. Now finally we've announced it, could have been done much earlier. 3,000 crores is a piddly amount of money for the Indian government. Let's calculate this. We are 125 crore people. Each person, 2 doses, 250 crores. Today's vaccine manufacturing capacity is 5 crores per month. It's going to take us 50 months at this rate, 4 years. Meanwhile, the COVID virus keeps mutating and keeps getting better at what it is doing. Anyway, so that's one. The second one, upgrading health infrastructure. We locked down the entire country last year. How did we utilize that time? Did we build more hospitals? Nah. Did we recruit more healthcare workers? Nah. What did we do in that time of the lockdown? Unfortunately, we didn't add hospital beds, we didn't add any capacity, we didn't add oxygen supplies, nothing, zilch. We were completely unprepared. Last, but probably one of the most important things, right? Now everybody was looking at doing their own thing. The US, for example, brought in a law which basically said they cannot export anything related to the vaccines. Sab apna apna dekho, right? They were busy vaccinating their own people. We exported 60% of SIA's initial production of vaccines to outside countries. For what? A pat on the back. Seriously? Next, we were actually exporting oxygen in January, February. Did you know that? The thing that you're running after right now was being exported just a couple of months ago. This just shows no vision, no foresight, nothing. Anyway, let's come to the three things that we can still do right. Three things to do to still salvage the situation. First things first, of course, vaccinate everybody. But do we have the vaccine? No. Just announcing that 18 plus years of age can now get the vaccine is not enough. We need to prioritize. There are not enough vaccines right now. So who do we give that to? We've already done a good job of vaccinating the healthcare workers, the municipal workers, people who are mass service providers to some extent. But that's just one set of it. Who are the next people who should get vaccinated? Those people who come in contact with multiple people. Because if they get COVID, everybody gets COVID. And these guys are essential for us to run our lives, live our lives conveniently in our homes. Who are these people? Truck drivers, taxi drivers, rickshaw drivers, tempo drivers, Amazon delivery, all the delivery executives, Swiggy, Zomato, you name it, Dunzo, everyone, right? The delivery boys who bring essential items to your doorstep. Very important people, they need to get vaccinated first. After that, the construction workers. Because development cannot be put on hold for a long time. We've already put it on hold for 1 full year. So construction workers, but also mass customer service people, right? Vegetable vendors, fruit vendors, street hawkers, right? All shopkeepers. Absolutely everyone, not just essential item shops, but all the shopkeepers, because every shopkeeper easily services at least 50 people a day, right? So those guys are the ones who need to really get vaccinated next, after this. Street hawkers. Their livelihoods depend on people on the road, customers on the road, going to them and asking for food, right? So let's not shut down people's livelihoods. It's important that street hawkers also get vaccinated at the earliest. Actually, private company employees who can work from home, like me and a lot of you, should be the last to get vaccinated. We can conveniently operate from home. Whoever can should operate from home for the time being, and those who cannot, those who have to get out of houses in order to earn a livelihood, those guys deserve to get the vaccine first. So that's going by profession. The second way to do this is to prioritize by population strata. Where are the COVID cases? They're all residing in your metros because density of population is the highest. Hello? When vaccines opened for 60 plus, I was already getting calls from my village back in rural Maharashtra saying that people are actually inviting 45 plus to take the vaccine. Why? And people weren't going. There were no COVID cases in the villages. Why are politicians catering to their constituency for votes? All vaccines effective immediately should only go to 40 lakh plus towns. That's where the maximum number of cases are. It's simple science, it's simple math. Okay? So stop pleasing everyone. Prioritize where you want to give the vaccine. That's point number 2. Point number 3, leverage all the international relations you have. Ask friend countries to help you. Beg, borrow, I won't say steal, but beg, borrow, do whatever you can. Leverage all those good relations you have with everyone and get oxygen, get vaccines, right? We should have done this long ago, but you should immediately approve all the vaccines that are already approved by the US and the European Union. There's not going to be any harm because they've already done the study. They have gone through the side effects. They know all of it. Why are we taking time to approve them? The more the number of vaccines available as options, the faster we all get vaccinated. Extremely important to do that, as well as get help from any country that's willing to give us help. These 3 things, if we can do on an immediate basis, I hope and pray our casualties, unfortunately as we call them, will be minimal, and we should get through this second wave largely unscathed. There's already a lot of damage done. Let's hope for the best that we get it right from here on. All the best to all of us. Stay safe, stay healthy.